looking at Gorgon. Gorgon has just delivered the first batch of cotton fabric finally to Titan. That means we have now furs and we have the cotton fabric. And that's pretty good condition to have our next production then as well, which is the fur coats that we have here. So they are really not that expensive, right? So we have that. We have the sewing machine soon, which is really easy to build as well. And we have in Fever Town, another town now where we can have the factories then. That is something we should do. Now, first of all, we already delivered the first batch of resources to Fever Town, which is the timber, the bricks. We, however, still need steel beams and also windows. Without the windows, we cannot build the commute pier later, and we need the workforce. I mean, look at the workforce here in Titan. Lots of it. And we don't need that much. So it's a good idea to just get it over there too. And Admiral has taken another island there from Alonso once again. And let's get us the steel beams that we have here. And windows, which we have plenty of now. So we have really a good window production. Get that over here to Fever Town. That is not all we need though, because Fever Town is going to play a vital role with the factories. Very important. And in that case, we also need, well, weapons in Fever Town. And let's also deliver some weapons over there. Lucky for us, in Titan we do have enough weapons. Let's have a look just how many. I have a pretty good feeling that it's a lot of weapons that we have. Almost 300 tons. Let's get 100 tons to Fever Town. Even though we'll never need that much. But let's just be on the safe side here. Right, so 2 clippers on the way. In Alchem, we have now started full our bakery production that we have here now. And I think we can safely say that we need to expand on that even more. So when we look on the bread that we have there right now, we have 14 grain farms, and 2 of them deliver 1 flour mill, right? And we have 6 flour mills, so that's actually already 12 grain farms that are being consumed by the 6 flour mills that we have. Even though, yeah, here we have 2 flour mills. Let's get rid of them. Actually, let's keep them there. I don't know why. So we have the flour mills here, and what we now need is, though, I think we need more grain farms for the beer production as well. So that is not enough, honestly. We have the 6 grain farms. Let's have 4 more grain farms, and let's have them up here. Right, I need to have them up here because I will probably expand those grain farms here once we have the tractors. Right, and then we can build them as well. And let's upgrade this one here because it's going to need more space there in the future. Also in Fever Town, my resources have arrived, so my weapons. 100 tons of weapons and the rest of the resources, so we can use all of that. And in that case, let's have 2 cannon towers here that we can have for Fever Town. They should be able to protect me. They cost me also 14 influence. We should be very careful about the influence there. We are Supreme Commander now as well. We've reached that influence bonus here, so that is the military. Let's have a look there. Supreme Commander, what does it give us? 15% attack speed on my ships. Not a bad deal there. Not a bad deal at all. And that we have in Fever Town. Now Fever Town, we will need a few things, a couple of things here. We need some fisheries. Let's stop with the blueprint. Let's have 3 fisheries here. Also what we need here is a decent timber production. That is something we can do up there, right? There we have ourselves a little warehouse. And around that we have some lumberjack huts. 4. Yeah, bit overboard there I think. But since lumberjack huts really don't cost that much, let's just do it. Alright, and since we have the fisheries here and our lumberjacks, we do need, however, still also, well, a bit of workforce. And that's something we're doing here. So we can have ourselves another town here. And since this is rather a, you know, workers' town, we're not going to make it too pretty. Right, but we are rather going to have a few of these farmers here. And that's fine then already. Oh boy. And what I just see is that we don't have enough timber for the marketplace. So they're working already here. Very good. But hope they do it quickly because we need that. Otherwise we're losing those buildings there. So let's rather take a bit of timber there from Alchem and deliver it over there quickly. My ship has arrived. Let's unload the timber real quick before I lose my buildings here. Let's have the warehouse. Righto, and a pub there as well. And a fire station. Another raid in one of my towns, in Taten. And so the police can get over there more quickly. Let's have more brick roads here. Right, in that case here, we can have it here. And finally, let's make a stone bridge out of that wood bridge here. Which is also looking really good then. And those people are angry for some reasons. Even though I gave them everything that I have. Alright, the variety theater is missing. That's probably something. Yeah, and we can actually do that. We can plan for it. Because we have the resources, mostly. There it is. And we just need a good location for it. I think there we have one. Once the rides are gone, that is. Alright, so in Alken, my clipper then with the bricks should be coming soon. The bricks that we purchased, there it is. Because we also want to have now our beer production here before beer runs out entirely in Taten. And since we have the bread here, let's leave this block and have another block over here. Here we can have the beer production then. Now for the beer. We have now 6 flour mills for the bread out of the 18 grain farms. That's 12 grain farms used already. So we have 6 grain farms over for the beer. Right, and in this case here, once again, 3 malt houses are sufficient for that. 3 for now. So let's build the 3 here. And in fact, let's build actually 6 of them right away. Because here, once again, I want to have then the trade union that we can have here as well. Let's have also a warehouse here. So we can have more malt houses here. And on that side here, then I'm going to have the breweries. Right, and I can have lots of breweries if I want to. Here we have the fire station then still. And here we just go up then with 8 breweries. Right? Don't forget, 1 malt house can supply 2 breweries. So having like 3 of them for now will lead to 6 breweries that we need to build anyway. And then we can do the same thing here with more breweries. Even though I'm not going to build them right away. But it's all fitting into my trade union here. And here in the center we can have the fire station. Right. So all this one here needs now is a few more bricks in that. We can already build the warehouse, the fire station, 3 malt houses and some breweries then. In fact, we can build all the breweries that we need. That is good, even though workforce is down a bit now. And the warehouse we need to upgrade though. And since the workforce is down, let's upgrade a few more workers here. Right, just those guys here. Now that we have the bread and the beer on that island here, what we can do now is, or what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to have finally the trade route for it. So let's create 2 trade routes here. The first one is going from Alchem to Taten. And that is going to have the bread, of which we already have quite a lot of in Alchem.
I love the fire service.
And Castilla is going to be on that ship for now. Even though Castilla has something, yeah, has the resources. Very good. And the second route is going to be the beer route from Alchem to Taten. And once again, let's say we need the beer, 200 tons. And that is going to be Andromeda. Very good. So both of them are now on the trade route there. And then I can use Little Dread and another clipper that is close by, hopefully. Oh, and Fever Town is reached. the next city status. We can upgrade here those houses there. Money-wise, pretty bad. We need to look out here quickly now to provide all the things. One of them is actually something that we should have in Titan already, and that is now the fur coats. Right, so the fur coats is something. Let's think about that. We're going to have down here, first of all, I don't need breweries down here anymore. They're still working a bit now. I can already get rid of the malt houses. We're going to keep the breweries here working until they're really out of resources entirely. The brats no longer work, so let's get rid of the bakeries here. I don't need that. That is gone. But the big but here is now, let's get rid of the foresters here and the sawmills and the warehouse there, because I want to have my city expand over here as well, but not entirely. We're going to keep some space here for still our factories, because this is after all the harbor district where we want to have some factories, but also the oil, right? So there we have the oil then coming in, right, with an oil power plant that is then producing electricity for all of those guys there. So that is essentially what we need to do here. Right, so let's start with that. Here, what we're going to have here is the fur coats, and that is indefinitely, because fur coats is something we cannot have anywhere else than here, because we do need the artisans on that production chain here, and I don't have artisans anywhere else. So that is just something that we need to have here. Here, I might have the power plant, or on the other side here. I don't know exactly about that yet, but the fur dealer is fine. We have the warehouse then here. And for the cannery, that is something we have then here as well. Now the cannery is something for artisans, the artisanal kitchen is something for artisans as well. But I know that there is an item where we don't need the kitchen anymore. I haven't found that yet though. But let's build this one here for now. And then we have the fur coat dealers now. They don't reduce the attractiveness luckily, so we can just keep them here. Let's also have brick roads now. Since this is kind of like permanent, I can have brick roads here. Except for this one here, since the breweries, they're going away again soon. Right, so in that case, we can keep that. Create the fur. Fur is coming in now. Soap is looking a bit bad. We should look out for that. We do have quite a lot of trouble there with the income right now. Sausage. Sausage is capped. That's good. And I think the piggies are capped too. Ah, actually piggies are fine. We can squeeze one in here. That's pretty good. Right, because we need a few more of those guys here. For the rendering works then as well. Let's have one more in here. Or actually, here. Right, and then we can have 3 rendering works in addition. And then 2 soap makers that we can still squeeze in here. And let's have paved roads here as well, since we just need it. In that area where we have the pig farms. Alright, that is working out. And the fur should be coming in now for my artisans then as well. Very good. And I still haven't found the location for the variety theater. We have now a fire here instead of the rides, so hopefully that's is going away soon. Righto. And let's just have a look where my clippers are. Right, they're both on the way back again, right? Yep. And they should have delivered something. Hopefully. Bread is looking fine. Beer is looking fine now too. Soap should be fine then as well.
It's what we're in it for.
That is for that. Happiness, totally fine. So it's really only the variety theater that I want to have down here.
Nature's right.
And come on, you can do that. This fire here is not looking so bad. Alright, so we have the fur now here. next step would be my sewing machines, right? For sewing machines, we are already using now here the iron deposits. And in that case, I could increase productivity to 50%, and I'm doing that without increasing or without affecting the worker happiness here one bit. In fact, it doesn't really change anything. We can reduce the weapons factory productivity to save a bit of happiness there. And steel beams, the same thing, right? So in this case, we do save a bit of happiness, and we use that to have an increased production of the iron ore, because we need really lots of that. Iron ore, we can also get in alchem, only once though. But it's still good to have it once at least. So let's have it here. And here we're going to have the iron mine once again. Another iron mine here for a bit more iron ore production. Let's try. Yeah, we can do that. Happiness of the workers is still fine with +7. And the only thing that we need now here is another trade route. Alchem to Titan with the iron ore. Right, and a ship for that. And Lalibela is going to be on this route. Now, we want the sewing machines. We have enough steel already, so technically I could just start with this with the sewing machine factories now, and I'm doing that. They're not costing me any attraction, so we can just have them here. This fire station here needs to go though, and I'm going to have the fire station over here, far away. Another one we have down here anyway, and here we can squeeze in 4 of them for now, I think. Righto, there we have 2, and then 4. They also mark the end of the factory district here, and here the city comes in then, right? So here we're going to have the farmer houses then, that are going to mark kind of like the end between those two then. Here in the center we're going to have the power, that is fine, and I think we can still, yeah, squeeze in 4 dealers here if we want that in the future then. So they're now starting the production here. Here, we can now have the fire station as well, squeezing in. That is working. We no longer need this one here. Saving a bit of money there. That should be fine. And sewing machines only. Lumber is the only thing that's really a bit needed there. So, for the lumber, we already have a production here. And since timber is capped so often, I think we are fine right now. Plus the lumberjack is with +50% anyway. We can reduce the productivity for the timber, and thus we have a surplus that is sufficient for that. Righto. So 2 things are coming in now. We have the fur already, and the sewing machines are next. And then the only thing that's missing is the canned food, and we have everything ready then for those artisans to advance. Now here... Oh, wait a second. Now that we have a bit of time here without any riots, here I want to have a variety theater. This is the location for it, that we should prepare for it. There we have it. And let's build it like, yeah, this. So we can have a few ornaments around it. In that case, some flowers on the side, so we don't want to distract anyone, and elm trees on the back, and on the front a statue here or there, something that we could squeeze in. The bust of Nathaniel Spoon Drift, as he's called, 2 times. I think this is a good location there for this, to have the variety theater. Once we have the resources, we can then finally go with it. Alright, that is working now, and let's get back to Fever Town. We want to prepare for the canned food production. Now the canned food production needs lots of space above all. It needs the pepper and it needs the beef. What I want to do first is we can check real quick if we have the item that is needed. But unfortunately we don't. So in that case I'm just going to build it. Though we have to watch out, the money is really low at the moment. How is my production looking? Because I think we can just add another district anyway, right? So here, yeah, we can add a few more houses. Let's add this bunch here. Down here as well.
Ship under attack.
What? Oh, Alonso You do have a very good location here. And you have a very good habit of annoying me. Let's send some of my ships to the New World.
Attention for the Admiral.
You guys. Oh, yeah, not all of you.
Aye.
I'm going to say these 5 are going for the New World now. Right, and in that case,
Attention for the Admiral.
those warships here stay. I don't think Alonso knows what's coming for him, but he has been annoying way too long. We need to be really careful with the money still. So let's continue with the expansion of the town. Over here we still have lots of space. What I need is a warehouse. We might actually finish the expansion now entirely. So I think one marketplace here is totally fine. What we need though is a block. Right, and then we are going to have the marketplace here. That is fine. So here we can still squeeze in 2 more. Another block. Here we need another pub and a fire station. Yeah, and let's not have the fire station too prominently. I don't like that. So let's have it like that. That's fine.
I got me family.
And I want this one here. Oh, and yes, since we are also going to go with a museum at some point, perhaps, I will need a bit of space for that as well. Righto. But for now, tax income is the most important thing. This one should work, and it does. And out here we have then another block. Just like so.
Happy as a pig in muck.
We need to be careful not to take the brick road there, because we don't have the bricks for all of that. Right, to another nice little district there. And now the whole city spans across the whole river. So the whole river is now within the city, and this is looking so cute. Beautiful there. Beautiful town. That we can do here. Now, let's upgrade. Right, we do have the timber. 2 more workers. Those guys here. Oops. That one. We need more workers. We need more taxes, especially. Perhaps we need to lose a few warships as well, because they're just so incredibly expensive. And yes, that's quite fine. Having those guys now. And more fur is coming in. How's my goods looking? Soap is finally stabilizing. So that is fine. And I think variety theater that we have here. So we need to save for that. Then happiness is totally capped as well. And I think we can just continue like that and go for engineers very soon.